Life is precious, and we all have the opportunity of living it to the fullest. Unfortunately, so few of us know how to manage it all. How do we account for our opportunities? How do we account for our time? How do we account for our relationships, health, spirituality, homes, finances, influence, and careers? How do we account for the one life we have to live? I am so glad you asked. In this program, you will find answers to all of these questions and more. Welcome to the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore.
What's happening, everybody? Good morning. I want to welcome you back to another episode of the Account for Life podcast. Jay Moore, the healthy accountant, helping you to account for your life. Today, we're going to tackle a subject that I don't think I've ever talked about this topic in this way. How science is overlooked in business. And look, if business owners like you and me, folks that may be 1099 contractors, freelancers, service-based business owners would just use a little bit of science in their business, man, we're going to look at how that could potentially help and, help someone to grow their business today. It's Monday, guys. And look, Monday, maybe you need some motivation. Maybe you need a kick in the behind. Maybe you need some inspiration. Maybe you just flat out need a way to, to do something different in your business so you can actually get to where you'd like to be. If that's the case, look, let's jump right into the program today. Look, Account for Life podcast is brought to you today by drum rolls, brought to you by Living Free Financial Services. And at Living Free Financial Services, we help business owners like you. Yes, that's right. We help business owners like you avoid many mistakes when it comes to taxes, when it comes to their business and their accounting. So go to taxfreewealthchallenge.com. We've got an almost free offering where you can go there. We've got the recordings of our Tax Free Wealth Challenge that we did, some time ago, which walks you through how taxes is an investment, right? You want to understand how to invest so you can save money. Then secondly, the 8 strategies that you must master. Get those 8. Those are shorter videos where you can go through them. There's cheat sheets that you can print out and actually make sure that you're doing these deductions correctly. And then there's some accounting stuff where, look, at the end of the day, even though you're not an accountant, you should understand some things about accounting so that you don't make bad mistakes when it comes to organizing your finances. So go to taxfreewealthchallenge.com. Go ahead and pick that up today. And I look forward to serving you all the way through. So thanks so much for joining. All right, so let's jump right into this. Science. Why am I talking about science today? I'm talking about science because I've recently pulled out an old book, The Science of Getting Rich. And this book introduced to me by Bob Proctor about 5 years ago and maybe a little bit longer than that. But I got the book, I read it. I've listened to it. And for some reason, something said, go back and pick this little book up. It has some gems that could help right now, could help somebody in their business. It could help somebody to understand how they could go from here to here. And in one of the initial chapters, I think it's like chapter 2, it's called There is a Science of Getting Rich. So there is a science for growing your business. Let's just say it like there is a science. And it says there is a science, and it's an exact science. The first sentence, like algebra and arithmetic. So when you think about what is algebra, what is math? Math is how you can figure out a lot of things in our life. Now, I'm not a mathematician, but those are the mathematicians, those that really study science. They understand that math is kind of like it's always going to be an equation. There's always going to be something that you have to solve. And when you're looking to solve a problem in your business, then you got to look to some math. So one of the things I've learned from Grant Cardone when taking his sales training. Yep, you have to get training, guys. I took his sales training, and one of the first things he said is that you must do the math. Early this year, I was walking some clients through. We're just getting started, and it's like, do the math. Okay, so you want to make some money. What's the average? What's the amount of your product? Right. And, maybe they were realtors, what's the average amount that you would like to earn from every, from every closing that you make? Now, most people just want to make money. when you got to first decide, you have to decide what it is you're going to do. So you want to do the math and say, you know what, I'd like to make $10,000 for every deal, right? So if you make $10,000 for every deal, you only have to do 10 to get to 100. You only have to do 20 to get to 230 to get to 300,000. So you need to do 30 deals to get to 300,000. Well, maybe you got some fees, but maybe the fees cost you 25, 30,000, but you will still be over 250, around 250 and up. Or, I mean, if you just so happen to work somewhere where it's, it's 100% commission, but it's doing the math first. How many deals should I do, right? How many deals can I do at this amount? Wow, 30 deals. How many deals is that? Like, what's that, 2.5 deals a month? So in essence, you're doing 2 to 3 deals every single month. That's not a lot of sales. And when you think about it, it's not a lot of sales, but that's math. Math is science. It's addition and subtraction. It's multiplication. It's division. And when you do the math, then you understand. Okay, that's what it takes. So if you want to go further than that, you know what I'm saying? You want to get to 1 million, but let's not focus on the money. We're not going to focus on the money because then we kind of get all twisted up. So it's do the math, right? You want to do the math, but here's the thing. First, then you got to come back. I think we talked about this yesterday, or I talked about it on another video I did on YouTube. You got to create an offer. You got to create an irresistible offer that people would love to work with you, right? Irresistible, like to the point where they look at it, they say, I would be an idiot not to get that. I'd be crazy not to pick that up. Oh my goodness. It's not like, yeah, it costs $10,000, but man, but I can make 100. So when you do your math and then you create an offer behind it that's so irresistible, then it's almost like you are literally walking around saying to yourself, I have to hit my numbers because it's not going to be challenging. But then the last part of it is, once you have an offer, you have to make an offer. It's kind of like at the very beginning of this, I say, hey, go to taxfreeworldchallenge.com, purchase that program. It's only $97. It's only $97. Now you'll get now here's the thing. I can tell you that you can get more out of that. Put me to the test. Put me to the test that you could get 10 times more than what you pay. Put me to the test. Go buy it. And then if you can't save $1,000 from purchasing the program at taxfreeworldchallenge.com, then I'll give you 97 back. Period. So you've got to create an irresistible offer, but it's all math. So you've got to understand the math of where you're going. So the first thing is what is the average price? What's the price I'll be charging, or what will someone pay me? Now let's go a step further. If it's science, right? If it's science, then the science behind the math, the science behind the offer, the science behind, making an offer is literally knowing what problem people have. So once you understand what problem people have in their business, in their life, in what it is that they're trying to accomplish, then it's almost like you got cheat codes. It's almost like man, is this wrong? Do I just I know so much about the person that they can't help but take my thing and sign up for my thing? But a lot of times we get stuck. Have you ever been stuck in your business? I have. I've been stuck many times. And I don't even like using the word, but I'm just trying to be as transparent as possible. I've been stuck, meaning being stuck. I wasn't making enough offers. I wasn't creating an irresistible offer. I kind of knew what problem I was going to solve, but not really enough that people would just oh my goodness, they have to do it. I think I did. I always do the math. So I never missed that, but then it's just, man, I'm not getting to where I would like to be. It's not happening. Why? Well, here's the thing. Wallace Wattles, there's a quote in here. It says, you will do best in business. I'm sorry. I'm right. Let me say this right. You will do best in a business which is suited to your locality. Doesn't have to be an ice cream parlor, would do better in a warm climate, right? In Greenland, and in a salmon fishery will succeed better in Northeast in Florida, where there is no salmon. But aside, these are general limitations. Getting rich or being successful in business is not dependent upon your engaging in some particular business, but upon your learning to do so. So at the end of the day, he's saying you just have to learn how to do it. What is learning? I've talked about learning, and learning doesn't happen because you heard it. Learning doesn't happen because you read it. Learning doesn't happen just because you studied it. Learning only happens when you actually figure out what to do and then do it over and over and over. And then once you've done it long enough, you would see that you've learned something, because at some point it's kind of like, I know that I am learning marketing, but I'm not a master of it. Now, when you go into my accounting business, you can just ask me questions and I can just easily answer. I just know this stuff. But marketing, I'm not a master of it. I'm still learning it. I'm still learning how to position my offers. I'm still learning, about solving problems. I'm still learning all those things. But here's the thing: if you're going to use science in your business, you have to dedicate yourself to learning the math. Dedicate yourself to learning how to put together an offer. Dedicate yourself to learning how to solve a problem for people, and dedicate yourself to making those offers to people that ultimately need what it is or desires what it is that you have. That's how we implement science into our business. I think it's simple, because addition and subtraction, I think everybody knows how to do that. Most people know how to multiply and divide. So if you know how to do those things, I believe that using science in your business won't be hard, but it will require you doing it over and over and over. So guys, I hope you got value from this program today. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel or wherever you're watching this video. Guys, we thank you for joining us for this episode of the Account for Life podcast. Jay Moore, the Healthy Accountant, helping you to account for life. God bless. I'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us, listening friends. We are so glad you invested this time with us. Always remember, you only have one life to live, so live it to the fullest. This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the Healthy Accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.